He's a comedian, a writer, an actor, and a New York Times bestselling author. And this weekend, comedian Josh Wolf is here in Kansas City performing at the Improv. Joins us on the white couch ahead of time, though. Thanks for being here.
Generally, I try not to sit on white couches because at the places that I frequent, they're not as clean as these white couches.
Well, I'm glad.
So this is nice. This is really nice. Someone comes in and wipes these down every day. That's nice.
We do.
Oh,
for you.
Woo! Thank you.
So we all knew you, or we started to get to know you on Chelsea Lately, and then you were on After Lately. Mm-hmm. But you wrote this really sweet book about being a single father of 3 and trying to make it in LA.
Yeah.
That's a side of you a lot of people aren't familiar with, who just know your comedy.
Yeah, you know, being a single dad is also like,
of 3 kids.
Yeah, and I'm married now, so mm-hmm. The roofies are still working. And she stuck around. I don't know how. Well, look at her mouth is wide open. She's like, did she say he roofied his wife? Yeah, twice.
He's a comedian.
Yeah, take it easy. Yeah. If that joke offended you, don't come to the show this weekend. But the thing about being a single dad, which I didn't realize what happened, is most people just assume you don't know what you're doing.
Right.
So you get help I remember I'd be at the park and it'd be hot out, and somebody would walk up and be like, you know, the kids need water, right? And I'm like, yeah, I get it. I understand that the kids they're gonna need water to live. Got that part.
Did you?
Yeah,
got that
way
part
ahead
down.
On the water part. If you could help me on how I'm gonna make enough money to feed them, that would be great. But
at what point did you finally realize you were gonna make it? Was it Chelsea Lately?
I'm not sure that has happened quite yet, but I'll let you know when I stop panicking.
You're always hustling.
As a comic, all I remember is I used to work for chicken fingers. I used to work for chicken. Like if somebody said, "Will you do a gig and I'll feed you?" I'd be like, "Yeah." So that mentality I still have not let go of. Which, you know, if you want to pay me in chicken fingers,
you'll still take it?
Yeah, but none of that gluten-free stuff. Like I don't understand how you have a chicken finger. Someone said, "Do you want a gluten-free buffalo wing?" And I was like, "No."
No, thank you.
That sounds terrible. You might as well pour dirt in my mouth. I don't want any of that.
You've been doing comedy since you were like 15?
Yeah, the first time I got on stage, and I think I told you the story last time I was here.
Does it involve your mom being the butt of the joke?
Yeah, no pun intended.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. My first time I got on stage, I was 15. My parents had to drive me to the show, and I didn't know what to talk about. So the dude who ran it said, "Talk about what you know," and all I knew is that my parents had terrible gas.
And they're in the audience, and they've driven you to the show.
My parents were in the front row.
That's what I love about this story.
They were in the front row, and you remember those old Kodak click cameras? Click. So they're sitting there in the front, and I could just hear my mom going click, click. And then I start to go into the joke about how her gas is the worst.
Yeah.
And then you just hear click. Like it starts to slow down a little bit. And then I closed with a story about how my dad kicked her out of the car once. We were driving down a freeway.
Because of the gas.
Because of the gas. We were driving down the freeway on the Mass Pike in Massachusetts. My dad pulls over, and we were all in the car, and he was like, "You got to get out." And she was like, "What?" And he was like, "You got to get out." And she was like, "Why?" And he goes, "You're killing the car." And she said, "What do you want me to do?" He goes, "I don't know, walk it off." So she just walked up and down the side of the highway. You know, sometimes you just got to walk it off, you know?
And so. Wait, is your wife fair game now with your comedy, or is she like, you can't go there?
Well,
like, how ticked would she be if she saw you doing a set about her?
It depends. It depends. Sometimes she's like, make that one about your ex. I'm like, deal. You know, because that's easier. You can just group it all into the crazy.
Right.
Yeah, you know?
Composite character.
Yeah, that's it. But that happens with my kids. So I tell jokes about my kids, and so I know that one of my kids hates jokes about them.
Right.
Hates. So I just make it about my other son.
Perfect.
Right? And
the other son loved Josh Wolf.
My other son loves it because he knows the new shoes that I bought him were because of that joke. So he's like, keep telling the jokes.
I'm fair game.
Yeah,
I want more shoes.
He loves it. He loves it.
Josh Wolf performing at the Improv this weekend. Thanks, Josh.
Thank you very much.
Christine.